The Kenya Education Staff Institute is the capacity building agency of the Ministry of Education. We are legally mandated by the legal notice number 19 of 2010 to undertake management training, research and consultancy. As you are aware, our education managers are working in very challenging times. They have to implement the performance agenda of the Ministry of Education. They have to implement the reforms. For instance, we have the free primary education. We have free day secondary education. And all these reforms come with challenges. And therefore, what we are doing is to present them with a video that can equip them with the tools to help them overcome these challenges. This particular video focuses on cross-cutting issues that have become extremely important in the Ministry of Education. These include gender issues, HIV/AIDS issues, child-friendly schools, drugs and substance abuse, and environmental issues. The reason we have focused on these issues is because the Ministry of Education has mandated us as the capacity building agency to mainstream all these particular issues in our education management. This particular video targets our heads of educational institutions as part of our distance learning program. At the moment, we are developing training material and equipment for our distance learning program, and this video will accompany the training modules that we are developing. So in other words, our training modules will be used alongside this particular video. We believe that this video is going to be extremely important because it is promoting the performance agenda of the Ministry of Education and the government of Kenya in general. This video will also be accessed online. We are going to put it on our website, which is www.kesi.ac.ke. That means that our education managers and personnel can access this particular video using their computers and any other digital devices that they may have.
An inclusive and child-friendly classroom should have child-centered classrooms, should make sure that children of diverse backgrounds and abilities are comfortable, and should ensure that it contributes to effective teaching and learning as well as use of resources. A safe and protective school should be free from bullies, harassment from teachers, and should also be well enclosed to keep away outsiders. A secure school environment will foster the students' enrollment, retention, and completion of education. Every school should provide an equal opportunity for education to all learners, regardless of sex, religion, cultural background, and other barriers that may keep children out of schools.
Sasa Mary, tujaenda shule? Mama Mary? Mama Mary?
Yeah?
Why is Mary at home and all the other children are in school?
Mary is a very beautiful girl. Why should I take her to school yet? When she grows up, she'll find a man who will take care of her.
Ati?
Yeah, ni msupu sana. Tapata mtu atamfunza.
Mama Mary, why are you taking us in the past?
Kwa nini?
Today, education is very important to both boys and girls. Women are coming out and having good careers and contributing to economic development.
You know, I like having my Mary around because, you know, what you're talking about those men, all these working men, don't they contribute to that economic development? After all, when she grows up, I'll find a man to marry her and give her good life.
Mama Mary,
Yeah.
I don't mean to scare you. But do you know the right to education is one of the basic human rights stipulated in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? That means education is a right that every child anywhere in Kenya and around the world must be given. In Kenya, unajua vile hii kitu implementiwa? It's been livened by the launch of the free primary education.
So what do you mean? You want to say that I'm violating Mary's rights? You know, I'm her mother.
Mama
So I feed her, I shelter her, I clothe her. So what do you mean?
Mama Mary, this is a copy of the Constitution. Inasema, the Constitution states that every child is entitled to free and compulsory education. Umesoma hapo?
Yeah.
The provision of which shall be the responsibility of the government and the parents. Inaanzia hata kwako.
Sasa, if I take her to school, who will help me with all this work? You see right now, anaosha vyombo, nilikuwa naosha nyumba. I cannot do all that at the same time. Seriously.
Jamani, she can help you during the weekends and holidays.
Na vyombo zitaka mpaka weekend ama holiday.
But wewe utakuwa unafanya nini? I'm sure you can manage. My 2 daughters both go to school. I manage the house chores on my own.
The problem is, if she goes to school, who will help me with the housework? You know all my sons are in school.
Sijui nikuonyesha tena hiyo Constitution.
Nimeelewa. Ukirudi, unaona unatoka na chupa, utakuja kunielezea.
One day I know they will achieve their career goals and they'll have very good opportunities in life.
I don't know, but I'll think about it later.
I was returning your tray back.
Oh, thank you.
You look like you're on your way out.
By the way, I've been thinking for the past 2 weeks about what you told me about sending Mary to school. I want to go to that school and get more information before I take.
Yeah, that's nice. Make sure you fill me in when you come back.
Okay, I will.
Good luck.
So you must be Mama Mary.
Yes, I am.
Welcome to our school.
Thank you.
Now, I understand you have a daughter you want to send to school.
Yes, I have a daughter who is now 11 years old. Yeah, I realized that education is important for not only boys, but girls as well. I also learned that every school, there are things that every school must have to ensure it's child-friendly, safe, and also all genders are treated equally.
That is true. You are absolutely correct. Now, every school must have a conducive environment to enable all its pupils or students to learn and also to benefit from education. Our school is one of those institutions. I would like to show you around if you have some time.
Okay, let's go.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
In our science class today, we are going to learn about magnets and magnetism. Who can tell me what a magnet is? John, can you tell me what a magnet is?
No, sir, I don't know what a magnet is.
Does anyone else know what a magnet is? Hey girls, put your hands down. I'll tell you what a magnet is. A magnet is a special metal that has two ends called poles. What are these two ends called, class? Poles. Again? Poles. These two poles are called, one end is called the North Pole and the other end is called the South Pole. What are these two ends called?
North Pole and South Pole.
Well, Now, the North Pole attracts the South Pole of another magnet, and the North Pole of one magnet repels the North Pole of another magnet. That's why we have a saying, opposites attract. Have you ever heard of that saying?
Yes.
Now, that attraction is called magnetism. Magnets can be made by when we wrap one magnet to another metal. Now, who can give me an example that uses magnetism? Yes, David. And you boys should attempt to answer this question because engineering is your field. Is it not?
Yes.
Okay, David, go ahead.
The door of a fridge.
Oh, wow. David, that's a very good example. Good job. Another example. Anthony. Since no one else can answer that question, Jen, can you tell me?
A compass for direction.
Yes, compasses are made of magnets. And there are other many examples which you can give that use magnets. So that will be our lesson for today. And before I go, I have an assignment for you. For the boys of this class, I want you to make a fan that uses a magnet as I have explained. And for the girls, take papers and make an airplane. I think that one will be easier for you. And to that, Alice, I would like to see you in my office.
Common gender stereotypes and incidents of harassment in schools include calling on boys to answer questions more often than girls, rewarding boys for right answers and withholding praise from girls, criticizing girls for wrong answers, giving more responsibilities to boys than girls, sexual harassment, for example, during tuition, in teachers' houses, touching private parts, and sexualization, and making unpalatable remarks about girls or boys. The Ministry of Education has developed a gender policy to address critical issues concerning gender and training. The overall goal of the policy is to promote gender equity and equality in education, training and research to contribute to economic growth and sustainable development of Kenya. Some of the ways of promoting equity and equality are treating both boys and girls fairly and respectively, creating or availing equal opportunities for both in all areas, creating an environment where boys and girls are assisted to overcome various impediments and barriers that may hinder learning, provision of gender-friendly facilities, for example, furniture, sanitary facilities, and even teaching aids, encouraging and supporting girls to pursue sciences, mathematics, and technology, which is a prerequisite to industrialization and economic development, avoiding gender stereotyping situations, and gender-sensitive sexual maturation and reproductive health issues.
Now, there are 5 major themes of a child-friendly school, and I remember you mentioned that while we were back in the office. The first one, every child-friendly school must have inclusive and child-friendly classrooms. Number 2, they must be safe and they must be protected. Number 3, they must have equity and equality for all the students involved. Then the 4th major quality that a child-friendly school must have is that it must promote healthy and nutrition. Health and nutrition. That means healthy food consumption.
Yeah, that's in terms of lunch.
In terms of lunch and in terms of what they eat at home. And then the 5th one, a child-friendly school must enhance community linkages and partnerships. That means outside the school, the community, they must have linkages within the school.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you look over there, you will see that we have individual pit latrines, each with a wall and also with a door for privacy. Because here we believe that every student must have privacy when they use the toilet facilities or when they use the bathrooms.
Yeah. I agree with you, and I'm glad you mentioned that. You know, my daughter Mary,
she's very shy. So using bathrooms without walls or doors will be very difficult for her.
It's absolutely understandable. And actually, the latrines also help with other things. Have you heard of biogas?
Not really. I had some women talk about it, but I didn't pay attention. What is it about?
Now, those pit latrines over there are part of a biogas generating block, which means that they treat human waste on site without requiring any sewerage infrastructure.
So what happens to the waste?
Well, the biogas is actually a breakthrough. It's actually one block that treats human waste and offers affordable sanitation by its way of subsidizing costs. It also helps to reduce carbon emissions into the air, which also makes our air cleaner. And another way that it does, it's a benefit to us, is that it's an excellent method of hygiene promotion, child-friendly services.
So how does it do all this?
You see, Mama Mary, it generates biogas. Biogas is a gas that can be used for cooking, as opposed to the more expensive electricity or the more expensive charcoal, the firewood, or even the other gas that we use, the propane gas, because this one is basically free of charge. And by using the biogas, this helps us to actually conserve our environment better. Less trees will be cut down, no pollution in the air by the charcoal or even the propane gas.
Did you say you cook with this gas?
Yes, we do, but
No. I can't allow Mary to eat such food, and neither can I myself to eat.
I understand your point of view, Mama Mary, but please let me explain. The biogas generated from that block is actually very clean. It's pure, and it's also safe for humans. A biogas generating block comprises of 1. A digester, which mixes water and human waste in anaerobic conditions to make biogas. The remaining liquid flow is 90% pathogen-free and is filtered on site. 2. The biogas, which is used for cooking and is used by various children's feeding projects. It reduces carbon emissions by converting methane to carbon dioxide and water, and by substituting the need for other fuels. 3. The toilets and washrooms, which are on the ground floor to ensure that physically challenged or disabled students have easy access to the cubicles. So, as I said, Mama Mary, this biogas center, it helps us to cut down on our operational costs. That, of course, means we pass those savings down to you. So you end up paying less for school maintenance, you end up paying less for school projects, and you also pay less for the meals that we provide here in the school. And the biogas produced here is safe